When mention is made of the Nigerian Customs Service, or you see a custom vehicle pass, or you see an officer on the line of duty, what comes into your mind? Is it in the direction of transparency, infractions, cash cow, money making, corruption infested? On the whole, somewhere I read copiously about the customs, and it says the era when the customs is perceived as enemies of the society is over, as the customs remains one of the torchbearers of the nation's economy. Only charlatans and smugglers will not see anything good in the Nigerian Customs Service. Our focus on this segment is on the Nigerian Customs Service. What is the direction? So much of image, has it moved on? But it looks like, but it's not my place to say. I have a team to talk about it here. My guests, I have Abe Benjamin Tessia, Assistant Controller General in charge of Customs Modernization Unit. It's my pleasure to have you on Inside.
Thank you so much.
I also have Ayobami Ayolowo, is a public affairs analyst, a member of so many media-related organizations. It's my pleasure to have you on Inside.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Beautiful. On establishment in 1891, the Nigerian Customs was saddled with the responsibilities of revenue collection, accounting, but two core functions: collection of revenue, import and excise duties, and accounting for same, prevention and suppression of smuggling. We have other functions. So let me start with you. Is there a new face of the Nigerian Customs?
Definitely. There's no organization that is made and becomes static. Even a child, when you have a baby, it will grow to an adult like you. So if we establish an organization that's old as custom, there must be some changes that have been taking place right from the day. There's so many changes that took place, even just before some of us joined the service. But I joined the service in 1988 as a young officer. And from that time up to date, I could tell you, because I'm in the position to tell you, there have been massive changes. Where are the changes? As you rightly say, most of the time, we are looking at the import process. There was a time in this country we have places called long room. That is a long room where documents are processed manually, where there is no, it's not organized. You know, when anything manual, you know, there's tendency for a lot of under the table dealings. But fortunately, I was one of the officers involved in the beginning of the custom automation in 2006. And when we started it, many people did not give us a chance. They didn't believe that a long room could be changed to a digital environment that it is currently today. The declaration which was submitted manually, we converted that declaration to a digital document. And today, as I can tell you, we don't see paper declaration again since 2006 to date of declaration. That's the beginning. And you know, in revenue collection, particularly when it related to custom, the document that tells you what goods are coming in and going out, which is the manifest, that is the document that if you don't handle properly, you cannot account for the, and you know about how much has come in, what is the throughput per these declarations. So the manifest, which was initially submitted manually and could be manipulated, was now converted to e-manifest. This project, we started it in 2008. Okay. Immediately after we succeeded in converting the declaration of custom to e-declaration, we now move ahead and converted the electronic manifest. Initially, what we were doing was collect the the hard copy manifest, and we had what we call them the data capture officers. We created a new unit called data capturing. They will collect the manual manifest and then input it into the Ascuda++. And I think I have to even explain to you, as at that time, the semblance of automation was in the form of Ascuda 2.7, which was more like this typewriter, you know, in those days in the bank, we had here making noise. That was what was being used. Mostly it was in account unit that were using that to manage this. But from there, from graduation to automating the declaration to automating the manifest to e-manifest, we now went to the core of what it's all about, the revenue generation. We had to make a payment to become e-payment. This was a big project. Nobody gave us that it could happen. In those days, payment with the receipt bank would have a fraudulent receipt. People were cashing government bank draft. It was a big business. It was cut across custom. Banks were involved, security, everybody. You see duties, you cannot account for your duties. Even though we have now automated the declaration and the manifest, then we had to automate the e-manifest. If we look at the picture of the revenue generation from that time to date, from barely 200 billion a year, as by 2014 we hit a trillion. So you see the sensitivity of automation. And
we have to bring in somebody who will see different. You are the in-house person.
Yes.
He's the ex-situ person.
Yes.
However, from what he has said, side by side, the public profile, image profile of. What's your comment?
To be fair to him, he's been very sincere because you must give it. Like I am fortunate to have had experience in the banking industry, and we handle so many custom issues. And to be fair to him, their automation has changed a lot of things. Of course, many Nigerians may not want to agree, because people want to see customs in that light of being a corrupt organization where everything or anything goes. But you have to give it to them that you will always have such things in a society. But what is the direction of the organization itself? That is where you look at. I mean, that is the key. If the organization knows that, look, like he said rightly, you cannot remain static. There must be dynamism. For instance, that is what has led to their this, that. Now we are having e-auction, which had never been in the past. It has always been shrouded in opaque mystery. Nobody knows how it goes. I, for once, have never heard about it. I just know they do it. I don't know how they do it. But suddenly today, I can just log in with my phone. I don't even need a laptop. Just my phone. If it's enabled, internet enabled, I can bid for a vehicle. And if I win, I get it. So, which means transparency is gradually coming to play with the Nigerian customs. And it's a kudos to them, because many of us who have had opportunity of traveling outside this country will attest to the fact that we have seen how things are done in some places. We are desirous to see same happening in our own country here. The last time I traveled for Christmas, my family was already in the UK. I went to join them then for Christmas. And when I got to the country I was going to, before I would even walk around the clearing and everything, my bag was waiting for me. Nobody bothered me. Nobody checked my bag. Because they've checked it electronically, they didn't need to violate my privacy by asking me to open it in the front of everybody. But when I came back to Nigeria, it was a different ball game. From Oga, waiting, you come up, Happy New Year, waiting you bring for us to, we want to see your bag and open I mean, all those kind of things. So those are the things that we want to see more of the change. Yes, the beginning is already put in place. We have seen that a lot of things by the organization is being changed. It now have to translate into personnel, because he and his team can do everything they want to do e-way, in the e-manner. If the people in the personnel that will execute are refusing to change, then that will be the challenge. Okay. Because the organization can say we want to do this, but people we always have saboteur. But what we are hoping for is that we'll have more patriotic people who will buy into the vision of transparency and accountability than the few ones who always have the recalcitrant ones, no matter what you do.
We'll come to the issue of the e-auction, because it looks like a dream to so many Nigerians. Customs e-auction? Are you sure it is real? People are asking these questions. But let me just throw this to you, sir. So you get a mind picture of what an average public of custom has. As we speak, just announce as a uniform and say, custom is recruiting. In the next 24 hours, the portal is open. I can be sure before the end of this program, the portal will be bursting with
will
applications. And on the flip side, meet 10 Nigerians who would have applied for this job. Why did you apply for customs? What money they there? Money they there. When you get there, you go make and quick. Why should people not have this impression anymore?
Yes.
A good number of people who apply to customs are not going there because of the service. They are asking to go there because of what they have heard happens there. Now when you get there, in a matter of days, you are a rich man. According to the common language, say you have hammered.
You don't hammer. That's the language.
What can be done for this mindset to change about customs?
The roadmap has already been there. It's in play and gradually. And you know, custom is not an organization that when you want to change things, you can just change it, switch over. Because you are going to have a crisis on your mind, your hands. Why? The same thing you've just said. There are some people who are fighting to sustain the status quo because they are beneficiaries of that rotten system.
As bad as it was.
As it was. Any system that is bad, there are some beneficiaries. And when you want to change it, that's where you have a serious battle. And if you are not intelligent enough and you don't play into your hand, they will mess you up. That's what happened. That's my experience in the service. Let me tell you, when we started automation, they say it won't work. In 2006, and I told some of my colleagues who, normally in organization, there are some people that you said, it's not every organization has rotten eggs. I'm not claiming custom doesn't have. I will be lying. In every organization, there are bad people who actually came to the organization not to grow it, but to benefit from it. They have no part in its positive outcome. It's just what interests them. That's why you see this kind of attitude. It's a Nigerian thing. And because of that, if you are not careful and you want to make the changes and you are not strategic and intelligent enough, you will play into their hands. So like as I was telling you, when we were automating the payment, it was a cash cow for a lot of corrupt bank officials, custom officers, everybody. And they were campaigning and they have supporters who will say it won't work. But we know we started gradually. We started a pilot site in Apapa. And when it succeeded, we started moving. The same thing with the e-manifest. The e-manifest started in the seaport. By the time we did it in the seaport, in 2010, when I was now moved to implement this, I was the APM, Area Project Manager for the Skuda project. By 2010, when I went to the airport and wanted to automate the airway manifest, it became a tough case. I will invite serious executives or airlines to come for a meeting. They will send a messenger who would not listen. It was deliberate. Until as I got approval from the custom management to shut down the airport in Lagos for anybody who is in non-compliance. That's when the message was different. That's when we succeeded automating the manifest in the airport. So you see that kind of resistance custom always face.
Okay.
The same thing with the auction.
Okay. As I speak, up till now, some people still feel it's a mirage. Customs?
Yes.
But this was something years back, or maybe just last year. It could just be a matter of a few guys just come together, take all those cars and do a round tripping with it and become very rich.
I've just said it already that people enjoy certain non-transparent platforms, areas, and they seek for such offices because of such benefits.
Not for the service?
No, not for the service. So our business now in custom, particularly in the Nigerian Custom Modernization Unit under the leadership of the Controller General, is to take those opportunities that are there for corrupt people to assess those corruption gradually in a manner that by the time they realize it, the scenario has changed. Now, nobody goes to custom for any declaration again. You sit in the comfort of your office and make a declaration. So when you don't have face-to-face contact, how are you going to bribe anybody? When we took over from the service providers, we had about 3 service providers giving us risk assessment report, what they call RA. It was a racket.
Okay, let me hold you there.
Yes.
Ayobami, since the inception of the present administration of customs to now, what will you say they have done differently?
Yeah.
I'm happy you said you have some inkling with customs.
Yeah, like you said rightly, you can't flip a switch. It's a human organization. It will be gradual, but you can see that under the new leadership, things have gradually begun to take shape. I mean, it will not be automatic, because even though you want to automate it, you are still going to be dealing with human beings, people who have been entrenched in a certain kind of way over years. So, but the transparency and accountability is coming in. Now, if you look at the revenue generation profile of the custom in the past few years, you will see a marked difference, which means because of the this, that, there has been more transparency in the way customs revenue is generated and accounted for. You can see it's growing. Now, looking at the auction, you find out that you cannot do a racket any longer, because if A is buying XYZ car, eventually it will be online. You will see it. I mean, if it was manually, I would have to go to the office and why do I want to do that? But now all I need to do is log into my computer in the comfort of my room, my office, or my wherever, and I'll be seeing what is going on. So for me, it's a whole lot of difference to Nigerians and to even the service itself, because it now gives it a more respectable and human face that, look, these guys are doing what they ought to do. You can easily hold them to account to whatever they are saying they want to do. If they are doing this auction of cars, Nigerians can be involved in it. And should there be a racket, we will know. Because whatever is online will always be online, and it is available to any human being who can log into internet anywhere in the world. So I, for one, will say the new management under the administration of Colonel Ali has started to bring in more of accountability and transparency into the service.
How will you think the public should?
Yeah, the public should give them a chance. Yeah, the public should begin to give them a chance. We cannot close our mind, because we have our own role to play. If we continue to say they are thieves, they are criminals, then that is our mindset. That means we also have problems. But if these people say we are doing this, give them a chance. Until they fail us, we cannot say they are wrong. So I, for one, have encouraged a lot of people.
It's a two-way thing.
It's a two-way street.
Okay.
If they are doing, we must do. We cannot hold them responsible while we are being irresponsible with the way we handle or deal with them. Okay. I, for one, have encouraged a lot of people that I know to key into this auction. If you want a car, buy it or online, and let's see how it works. It is when they now fail that we now say, oh, they are just lying. But until then, we have to say they have tried.
Okay. So what word of reassurance do you have for Nigerians? Because there's a very big negative mindset out there about the customs. Your best friends are those who collude with the bad guys and are smiling away to the banks and are living big. Your worst friends are the commoners who are supposed to be speaking for you. What word of reassurance do you have for them?
The only
that
way
is no more what they think.
The only way they can buy into what I'm saying is for them to begin to harvest the benefits of my changes. I cannot say I'm your friend and you are not seeing friendship as a result of what you are benefiting from. Okay. So if I'm to benefit, if my other local normal people who are actually real Nigerians, who actually vote for government, who want to vote for people who really can deliver to them semblance of basic infrastructure and services, for them to really believe that they are Nigerians, they are enjoying this. It's the only way they start getting benefits of your products. Now, I can tell you authoritatively, when we started this auction, many people were discouraging us to start it. But we say no. You cannot know your failure until you do something. And by Monday, the CGC launched this thing, and we opened the portal. Yes, we have some technical problems, but because what are the problems we had? And this is where I'm going to talk to Nigerians, particularly some of our partner government agencies, other stakeholders who actually are part of the role they play into the success of customs, the commercial banks. Since we automated our system, customs does not collect money directly. It is the commercial banks that are collecting our revenue, whatever type of revenue we are generating for federal government. It's the commercial bank that we have partnered with that collects our revenue from the public trade environment to the central bank. And all this e-conciliation, everything is done at the end. So we need their cooperation so that the general public can benefit. Because you see from the result of the first batch of the auction we did, we uploaded a test run of 130 cars. And out of it, 43 people won those cars. And I have the data and the statistics to show you for
I can even see it here myself.
And these are the people who will never know them. I never know any of these characters, the people that have got this action. You see, and then the other side of it, as we're satisfying the general public, we're also generating revenue. We had a reserve price for the 43 items at 11.5 million naira. That was what we were expecting to get. But what did we generate? Million. We generated 20,390,000. Okay. So see the difference. So transparency works for everybody. It works for everybody. First, you are not. It's a business environment, yes. And it encourages people to invest. When you have a predictable and transparent trade environment, people who normally will not do trade will come on board. Okay,
thank you very much. Yes. I'm afraid we don't have all the time for this segment, but at least we'll be able to scratch it.
I just want to add a few things before
just
you close. Just a sentence. Like you said, transparency always works. Now, looking at it now, they have overshot their expected revenue. So I want to encourage Nigerians. Let us key into the new drive of the customs. I am an ordinary Nigerian, like every other person. The customs will never come and start saying we are good if we don't give them the chance to test if they are good. Okay. So for me, it's a good test run, and I think Nigerians should key into it and let us see how we can build revenue, because if customs makes money, Nigeria makes money.
Thank you very much. Well, so nice, so far so good, and we believe that this is sustained. I've been speaking with Assistant Controller General in charge of Modernization Unit of the Nigerian Customs Service, Abi Benjamin Tessia. Just not speaking with you.
Thank you very much.
And Ayobami Ayolowo, just not speaking with you.
Thank you very much.
Up next on